So yes, the Netherlands is known for Amsterdam, but it's also filled with medieval cities that look like this, straight from a movie scene. Churches everywhere.
I've been waiting for this moment for like 3 years.
It's warm and gooey. It smells like cheese. We're Danny and Nikki, and after living in Hawaii, we set out to travel again. We invite you to click the notification bell so you can follow our journey around the world.
All right, so one of the things that we really missed in America was these small, quaint villages that you could go visit and just kind of explore for the day because everything's so close. And when I mentioned I wanted to go to a couple cities, Nikki immediately knew which one she wanted to go to.
Yes.
So that's how we came up with the idea for this vlog.
And we're gonna have our daily dose of cobblestones, churches, and windmills.
And brown cafes. You can see the water is not so nice. All these canals, they look very good on pictures, but not so much in real life. So the first town that Nikki's taking us to is the town of Delft, home to the Delft Blue and this crooked church, which we're gonna go check out. Let's go.
Delft used to be one of the oldest and richest cities in the Netherlands, founded in the 13th century, which makes this a beautiful city to explore for a day trip. The towns in Europe mostly are built around the church, so the church is the center of the town. But it's already so cute. You see lots of cobblestones and flowers and bikes and these cute little squares. We can just have a coffee. It's just awesome to just walk around these medieval little towns and just spend the day, eat the local pastries. It's just awesome. So this church was built around 1325 and it has been stabilized since, so it won't fall down. But certain famous people have been buried here, such as the Dutch painter Johannes Vermeer. That's one sound I've always missed in America, is the church bells. You always hear them in Europe. So Delft is known for Delft Blue, which you can see all around the city here. It was produced since the 16th century and mostly popular on the rich families. Originally, it wasn't made from porcelain, but from clay that they used to bake. So let's check out some Delft Blue in Delft. Which is this gorgeous bench. It was inspired by Gouda, which you see his works all over Barcelona. But this one is here in Delft. What do you think? It's pretty neat, huh?
Yeah.
But that's how we like to explore cities, is to explore their artwork and their murals. That's how you get the history of a city. Just do a city walk and look at all those things.
Tips by Nikki.
Tips by Nikki. So in this story, you see all the typical Dutch things, such as the wooden shoes, but again, the Delft Blue. And the old Dutch ice skates. Delft Blue all around.
Can you tell Nikki is proud of her country?
Hello.
Hello.
That's also something that's part of Dutch culture, is the terraces that you see. People are sitting outside, drinking their beer or coffee, and we're gonna do the same.
Netherlands is filled with all these little quaint towns, and they're actually really close to Amsterdam. So we're gonna go ahead and head over to another one to get some good food. Let's go.
And it's actually really easy to get around here with transportation. And we're gonna take the train to Gouda. I bought my ticket online in the app. It's really easy. It'll get you through the gates. Gouda, the city of cheese and stroopwafels. Behind me there's a market going on that we're now going to check out.
What about that G, huh? That Gouda.
Gouda.
It's very deep in your throat, huh? You never get that.
You have to say it right.
Yeah.
But every city in Holland has their weekly market. And they sell all kinds of stuff there. So right now it's going on here in Gouda.
All right, so what's nice about Europe is you can always find like really old stuff, right? You get furniture from the 17th century, the 18th century. You can get old clocks, all of these nice things that I want to put in my future cigar room.
Yeah. What do you call this in English again? Mayor house.
Oh, a city hall.
Okay, yeah. The city hall is really beautiful. And I see that the door's open, so let's try and
sneak in.
So this city hall was built in 1448. It's so old and it's beautiful and it's so quiet inside. You do not hear the outside market. Wow. Now, let's do some cheese tasting. Gouda cheese. It smells like cheese. Look at all the options you can try. Like old cheese.
I'm just gonna go with the plain cheese.
And
It's very good. So when I first met Nikki at like lunch, she would only have bread and cheese. And for Americans, that's really weird. Like just bread and cheese.
that's all that we do though. It's definitely part of Dutch culture. But
Right.
what's also part of Dutch culture is stroopwafels. It's a typical Dutch candy with a waffle and stroop. But it's made here in Gouda, and we're gonna check that out.
Right.
There's so many cute streets to explore here in Gouda. You can tell it's such an old town. It's like, I don't know, fairy tale feelings, fairy tale vibes. You have arches, those old lanterns and flowers and churches everywhere. Okay?
Let's go get these stroopwafels.
Okay, let's get stroopwafels.
Let's go.
I keep getting distracted, but now we're on the way for delicious stroopwafels. Nou, dankjewel. Doeg!
I've been waiting for this moment for like 3 years.
Yes.
This is one of the best things about the Netherlands. It's amazing. I'm gonna take another bite. Here in the Netherlands, you can get them freshly made like this, and then they don't come in that little package, but it's got that little caramel syrup in the middle.
I grew up eating stroopwafels. What I noticed is it's toasty. It has a toasty flavor. It's warm and gooey. So good. I'll leave the link in the description of where this place is because it's the bomb. The last city we visit is Deventer. Once an important city of trade, now a bustling small city with beautiful architecture and delicious food. A city that I had to show Denny to complete his first tour of Holland.
But I think that I might. Nothing to you, birdie, as you sway.
So that small music station is such a part of Dutch culture, and you can see that when you go out, venture out into the smaller Dutch cities and towns. Now we're in Deventer, we see cheese shops and flower markets, and again there's the big market on the square, so we're gonna check that out as well. Let's go.
Some things in Europe are just so old that I can't even wrap my head around it.
I know.
Especially being from the US, like where things are like, we think old is 300 years. And here that's like, it's nothing. So the church we're gonna see is gonna be,
it was built in 1040.
1040.
And the church is called Lebuinuskerk. Let's go.
Lebuinuskerk.
We really like to explore churches and old buildings when we're traveling. We mostly visit them when it's free, but today we decided to pay our way into this church and walk the 220 steps to the top.
Ja,
Okay.
dan tellen we het hier weer af.
Is goed. Let's walk the 220 steps up to the top of the church. It's a bit eerie. Oh, I think we have more steps actually. We're not up yet.
Oh.
Made it up top of the medieval church.
I can see this medieval clock, this medieval town, the medieval river. So it makes me really feel like I'm in Europe.
It's a really cool thing to do when you come here to Deventer. And now, because Deventer is also known for a type of cookie, cake cookie, and it's been baked here since the medieval times. And we're gonna go and eat that, of course. Amsterdam.
West.
And Apeldoorn is where we're staying. Amsterdam is next. So now we're here at the Deventer Cake House, which, and the text behind me, it says Echte Deventerse koek, so the real Deventer cakes. And apparently it started since 1417, the recipe, built in this same shop. So,
I can't wait.
Hungry. Ja, helemaal goed wel. Dankjewel. Ja, jij ook. Doeg. Cool, so we found a spot in the city where we can try and eat the koek. And I grew up eating it, so Danny's gonna review it. His first time eating Deventer's koek, or ontbijtkoek as he would say.
First thing, it's really small.
Yeah,
right?
well, you have the bigger ones, but this is a smaller version.
Okay. It's a lot of flavors.
Yeah.
Wow. It's almost like a banana bread, but with just like tons of different spices in there. You said you ate it with butter though, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Across from where we were sitting, we found the most quaint, medieval-looking streets and alleyways.
Okay, so this looks straight out of like a Charles Dickens novel. Very quaint, very pretty. And we feel like we're in the Middle Ages.
It looks straight up like 1100, and I can imagine us walking in mud and horses, and I don't know, but it looks really cool. We explored some more of the old streets of Deventer before going home.
From 900.
Yeah.